Hello, storytellers. Welcome to another episode of Story Sessions with me. My name is Chidera Muoka and I am the lead storyteller at House of Zeta. If you are new to Story Sessions is a space where we critique positively other stories done by storytellers by me, a storyteller. And today we'll be talking about Savage X Fenty. If you know me, you know that I'm a Navy fan, but that's not the reason why we're breaking down the Savage X Fenty story. We're breaking it down because this month is International Women's Month and we're going to be specifically looking at stories that break the bias. And I felt what best, instead of just looking at a campaign or looking at a particular advert, why not give you a full range of how Savage X Fenty or a brand has been breaking the bias with their stories. So let's get into it. Let's talk fearlessness. Now, with the Savage X Fenty brand, one thing you can always count on is how willing they are to go above and beyond what exists in society, in terms of the people that they work with, in terms of the designs that they work with, in terms of the fabrics that they work with, in terms of how they actually convey this message. So it is a no-brainer when they say their core values is fearlessness, and you have this amazing campaign with the women of Caramel Cups, a bikers club, all wearing very, very luscious lingerie. You know what? I think one of the things I like the most about this is the fact that these are not your stereotypical women that bike. You have curves, you have plums, you have everything. So what I believe the Savage X Fenty brand does a lot is they tell you, think of what the standard of sexy or fearlessness is, and then they push it further. And it's not just with campaigns like this. We've seen them do this time and time again with a lot of the things that they release. A lot of their collection shows fearlessness. A lot of the fabrics kind of push the boundaries when it comes to fearlessness. A lot of the designs, they're edgy, they're extra. So it's not just a story that is applied in terms of their communication. It's in the way they represent themselves, from their fabrics to their communication. Now, the second thing we're going to be talking about is confidence. A lot of you might have seen the Savage X Fenty fashion show, but the confidence in that show is what makes the show the show. It's not your regular fashion show, right? It literally took away what we knew as the Victoria's Secret standard to inculcate dance, to inculcate music, to inculcate everything that makes you feel sexy. There was so much incorporation of all of these ideals into the fashion show that it screamed confidence. The people that came out, the way they wore what they wore, the way they expressed themselves in those outfits, the way the outfits expressed themselves on their bodies. Every time with the Savage X Fenty show, this is what Rihanna does with the bar. She keeps raising the bar, and it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal because it's not just about her or the show, but in terms of representation, what it does to people who see themselves in those outfits. You have men in sexy outfits, you have people in the LGBTQ community, you have a lot of representation going on, and the best part of this representation is that they're confident doing it. They're not shy, they're not reserved, they're not holding back anything. It's like they say, come to the show, give us everything you have, and they deliver. That's one of the things I love about the confidence about the Savage X Fenty show. And it's not just in the show, again, it also shows itself on social media in terms of what they do with their campaigns, the sort of people they choose to work on their campaigns. Basically, it's like you see a brand, right, and you buy into that brand story and you start to live that brand story when you are working with that brand. I don't think a lot of influencers or a lot of models know how that connection is so beautiful when you find the right brand to mix with the right set of people, and how that confidence kind of gives more representation to people like myself to say, you know what, I'm going to buy that outfit. I want to give you my coins. The confidence is something that they've sold to us. You can be confident wearing this. You don't need to be shy. You don't need to be reserved. You can be sexy as hell. Wear it, live it, dance in it, make music in it. And that's one of the things that I feel is a very, very important thing in making sure that their brand story is cohesive with what they say are their core values and how they represent their core values. The last thing we're going to talk about is inclusivity. And if you know me, you know inclusivity is so important to me. And to talk about inclusivity, there's a range of things that I can talk about in terms of the Savage X Fenty brand and how they've been inclusive in all their campaigns. But I'm going to focus on two people. I'm going to focus on Phoenix Soul and Naturally Kiara. These are abled women who are showing who they are, their real sexiness. And I think that's another thing I love about the brand. It shows you that your sense of belonging doesn't come from your physical appearance. It comes from how you wear it or how you show it, how you express it. So you can look at Naturally Kiara here, you can look at Phoenix Soul here, and you're not looking about the parts of their bodies that are not up to societal standards of what beauty or how you should represent or what you should look like, but they are sexy as hell. Right? And there's so much that is shown here. There's the fearlessness of these women to wear these outfits in today's society where there was, because it's changing now, and that's the most important thing about stories, where there was a very, very skewed perception of what was the standard of beauty. You can see the confidence in how they wear these things. They're fearless, they're confident, and it just helps with the representation of how people should be able to express themselves. So fearlessness, confidence, inclusivity, these are things that you can see in different layers, in different channels, at different points of the Savage X Fenty brand. And I think it's so beautiful that they have made sure that they have made sure that their core values has been expressed in every channel of communication with their audience, so that people really understand what the brand is about. Like, when you think about brands, what are the first thing you think about? When you think of Savage X Fenty, what's the first thing you think about? Those three things will come to mind, even if they are synonyms of the word. So yeah, those are the reasons why I feel like Savage X Fenty has led up to its word in terms of celebrating fearlessness, inclusivity, and confidence. It's also a way that I feel like they're breaking the bias. They've changed a lot of things. They've changed the lingerie industry. For instance, before the launch of Savage X Fenty, what the standard was in the lingerie industry was the Victoria's Secret standard: tall, skinny, Eurocentric, and bam, Savage X Fenty came and showed us that, well, you could be those things, but there are also more expressions of those things. And this has made them leaders in the market, right? Because now that we're talking about it, where is Victoria's Secret now? You know, and that shows us how important that people want a sense of belonging. Brands should really feed to that when they're thinking about their brand stories. And it's not just enough to say this is my brand story. It's also very important to live up to that brand stories in every communication channel that you have, in every way that you are going to communicate with your audience, through your fabrics, through your service, through the communications that you have out, through your campaigns, everything, even to the people that you use to represent your brand. And I feel like Savage X Fenty has been doing a very, 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 very important job in breaking the bias, and that's very important for us women as we celebrate International Women's Month. So I do want to keep this short and sweet so that you can literally love this video, because we know how the attention span is, so that you can literally love this video, absorb this video, and leave your comments to tell me what you think is your favorite or any other expression of the Savage X Fenty brand, or any brand, to be honest, that you feel like we need to have on story sessions, because we're only bringing to you stories that we feel should catch your attention. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, see you guys. Bye.